cross-site scripting. What could this be, Nandita ma'am?
Cross-site scripting allows programmers to create their own web pages. JavaScript is a programming language which was developed by Netscape to allow programmers to create more dynamic web pages. Besides its utility, JavaScript also introduced vulnerability because when two pages from different websites were loaded next to each other in a browser, which you can say is gathered in a frame or separate window, JavaScript from one site could cross the boundary to read or modify the page from the other site. This vulnerability was called cross-site scripting, or shortly called XSS. Depending on the severity of the attack, user accounts may be compromised, Trojan horse programs activated, and page content modified, misleading users into willingly surrendering their private data. Finally, session cookies could be revealed, enabling a perpetrator to impersonate valid users and abuse their private accounts. Cross-site scripting attacks can be broken down into two types: stored and reflected. Stored XSS, also known as persistent XSS, is the more damaging of the two. It occurs when a malicious script is injected directly into a vulnerable web application. Although this problem was resolved by a policy called Same Origin, which prevented documents from one origin from reading or modifying documents from a different origin. However, while this policy is followed widely and is effective, many web programmers can still leave their web applications open to this type of attack on account of poor coding. Like many common vulnerabilities, input validation errors is the cause of XSS. Attacks take place due to websites accepting inputs from untrusted source and thereafter serving it to the web page. An attacker can use XSS to send a malicious script to an unsuspecting user. The end user's browser has no way to know that the script should not be trusted and will execute the script because it thinks the script came from a trusted source. The malicious script can access any cookies, session tokens, or other sensitive information retained by the browser and used with that site. These scripts can even rewrite the content of the HTML page. For more details on the different types of XSS flaws.
Just how does these programs infiltrate our systems, Nandita ma'am?
Well, for that, let's check what most users of the internet do. For that, suppose a user types in a keyword in any sites. Let us take an example of a keyword name tree, which is typed for Google search. It must first accept this keyword input to decide that you are searching for name tree. If there are any programming errors, keyword input will not be validated and the search results will not be what you had asked for. Instead, you start getting some other results, say mango tree. This gap is exploited by cyber criminals to obtain the details which may harm the user. Using the XSS vulnerability in a banking application, the attacker has the potential for stealing information such as your bank balance and other private details from the web page.
What can a user do to mitigate or reduce or lessen the threat from XSS attacks?
For that, you need to know about the latest browsers. Latest browsers like Internet Explorer or shortly called IE, include XSS filter technologies, which prevent XSS attacks as and when it detects. Firefox users may like to install the NoScript plugin, which also contains an XSS filter. NoScript also allows the user to specify which sites they trust to run JavaScript code, but denies non-trusted sites by default. Chrome too has the filter to prevent reflective XSS attacks.
So, Nandita ma'am, we have to be very aware while using any popular sites too.
Definitely, Rajesh. The most popular sites are the ones which are mostly hit by intruders.